If you think that person ought to stay in, you vote no. So other than that, straight ticket and scratching. You can vote straight ticket, and if there's somebody on a different party that you think would do the job, you can scratch. If you vote straight ticket, it'll fill all of the things in for that party. But if you want to vote for a different person from a different party, all you have to do is mark that on your ballot, and it will only change that one vote, that one candidate. It's a long ballot. There's some more information about the ballot on there. And here's the good part. You can earn $15 an hour by working as an absentee ballot counter. We are seeing such heavy voting and such a volume of absentee ballots by mail and in person at the early voting centers that we're going to be overwhelmed. In 2020, we had 88,000. We're expecting far more than that now. So we are looking for anybody of any party to come, just come down. You don't even have to register there. They want so many people. And so just come down, and the information's here, and fill out the paperwork, and they'll teach you what to do. And I'll try to describe what you will be doing. Thank you. Any questions, give them to Joanna. She'll get them to me, and I'll get them answered. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Bigelow came before, and she helped us to understand our taxes. And boy, did she present a wonderful thing for us to look at. She had this great PowerPoint, and she will get that to us when she can. This one is busy. So we're grateful for having her at all. We always go first, and Officer is our guy. And we always go to INPC first, and she's running around, as you can imagine. Thank you, Penny, and all the voting areas. Give her another hand.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for the information. Look at that sheet she gave. She always gives out great information. I'm going to tell you, PCA is all behind INPD. And we're behind INPD Northwest. They are the group, the INPD group that covers most of our territory, the 38 to 96 Georgetown and Spring Mill Road. And they are getting the job done. And I just have to brag on them because we have been so inundated with so much drag racing. And all of us have heard it. And it's been waking us up in the night. It's been going through it. People have died on Michigan roads because of this. And if you hear someone say that the police don't do anything, send them my way. I have something to say to them to help them understand the things that are actually going on. We support them because they are supporting us. They come out, they're protecting the community. And sometimes we have to give people a little talk about, okay, well, what would you do if you didn't have it? What would you do then? Who would you go to? And I always see them and say, well, so those stuff you're going to call. And the fact is, there is no one else. There is no one else. So let's remember that they are husbands, their wives, their fathers, their grandparents, their uncles, aunts, brothers, and sisters. They are somebody's child, and they're out there protecting us. And I will tell you, when I got the information, I saw online, someone sent me, one of the residents saying what happened. Something you've all had. What do you do about this drag racing? You know, we're not safe going to our mailbox. We can't go here, we can't go there. Well, Officer Barr, I will let him explain that, but I'm telling you, they did it. They did something great. Would you like to tell them? Welcome.
I've talked a little bit.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
Officer
article.
David Waterman, he is our community research officer.
Yeah, it was say hi. Joanna's talking about, it was a news article, something that was released by IMPD to the news media, about basically a catch that we had of 10 vehicles impounded, weapons, narcotics, what have you, all stemming from reckless driving from the spinner events and whatnot that happened. I think this is the past weekend. But say a lot of something that we've always looked at. We partnered with state police on it, and that partnership has just been growing and increasing. So it's definitely something that IPD has taken very seriously. Something state police has taken seriously. I know you guys have. We've heard the complaints for a long time. You guys have been hearing it, drag racing and going up and down Michigan and up and down every street throughout the city doing this, or in the parking lots. So they said we've heard them. We've been working on it. We were able to really make a decent impact this past time about it. We know there's a lot more work to do though, so we're gonna keep going on that. A lot of people ask, what can we do about that as a citizen? The best thing we could do, or we could ask you guys to do, is report it. If you're hearing those cars, if you're seeing those cars start to beat up, you kind of know what it looks like. They're all pulling in this parking lot. They're all starting to line up in a certain area. These cars look like they're souped up. They're getting ready to go fast, anything like that. So before it even starts, you probably already know what's going on. Feel free to call us, and that would be, I would say it's a 911 call, because this is going to end up being a reckless driving situation where people are getting hurt, injured, from these serious speeds that people take off, spinning events. It sometimes lends itself to other crimes taking place in those. As I mentioned, guns and everything else was also confiscated, recovered. So there's a propensity of violence too in these events. So we just ask the citizens to call us if they see something like that starting to form, or if it's currently taking place. Feel free to please reach out. It may not be something that we're aware of yet. So just because you see it, say, well, there you know about it, or someone else already called. Please be the 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th, 13th person to call on it. I don't mind that. The more calls we get like that, the more we know something really is happening. So we can start sending more and more officers to the actual call. So feel free to keep calling on those. I think what else? You have a question? Okay. We recently had Community Day. You guys were out there, had your whole setup going and everything like that. So if you're online, you saw that. That's our Community Day car show at Lafayette Square Mall. It was an awesome event. I think that was one of our best turnouts. So we're very grateful to everybody that turned out. Grateful to everybody that helped support that event. I think we gave away a record number of bikes, of about 30 bicycles to kids during that. So super excited about that. And that's just from the community donating those bikes. We were able to go out and purchase some, but we got a lot of donations from the community. So we want to keep that rolling. Over November, we just had our last coffee with a cop for the year. That was at Gaia Cafe and Botanical at 56 Lafayette. That was this past Tuesday. So our next one, probably look at February or March will be our next coffee with a cop. That'll be on our social media. We'll send it out on our mailing list as well, so you can find that. Our next task force meeting will be kind of like that holiday dinner / task force. So we may have a couple of speakers there, but we're also going to have just like a nice dinner too at our roll call site. That will be the second Thursday of December. It's on there. So second Thursday of December will be our next task force meeting at our roll call site, 1005 Office Plaza Boulevard. It starts at 6 o'clock. Probably goes 12th, December 12th at 6 o'clock. So 6 p.m. to about 8 p.m. We usually just kind of cater in a dinner. So just come in, enjoy dinner, enjoy conversating with us, ask us some questions. We may have one or two guest speakers too to present on something or a certain topic. But stop in, stay as long as you can. It's a great event. Yep.
Can we donate toys that day?
If you wanted to bring toys, yeah, that would be great, because that falls really close to our Blow the Child event with IMPD that we do. That's Blow the Child, clothing or toys. For Blow the Child, we will shop with kids for clothes and toys. And then we will have like a huge event out east and just a huge lunch and a celebration with the kids. But if you have extra toys, we could wrap those up too and give those to them. So if you want to donate something like that, we try to get as many of those out as we can. Yeah, so any donation like that, greatly appreciated.
What's the address?
Our
For the,
4005 Office Plaza Boulevard. I may or may not have duty bill for you.
Don't say that.
She likes these duty bills.
I'm starting to put this like, because I want to throw in. Sometimes with speeding and the reckless driving, there are motorcycles doing wheels for blocks at a time. And I want to say too that the mayor's neighborhood advocates have told us to call in things, and we report to the mayor's action center and also give them a paper trail. And don't go to sleep if you call. Stay awoke, put your phone on the charger and wait till they answer and tell you what you're saying. This is getting, I want to apply the community, all the callers out here, but if you call, you help them to be able to catch these people. We have had people dying on Michigan Road, Maine, cars tore up, kids get everything.
So yeah, your calls matter. We definitely are able to track where these things are happening, and the more calls we're getting for a certain area, the more focus we can send into that area and say, okay, this is where it's happening. We need to get more resources over there to take care of it. So please don't be silent. You can see these kind of things starting up and meeting up. Who I can completely put away this whole thing of this reckless driving on the streets. It affects everybody. You may think, okay, they're doing this at whatever time, or they're doing this all on the lot. It spills over from the one secluded parking lot out into the streets where loved ones are traveling home from work late at night, what have you. So, I mean, it always spills over. So just because they're in a parking lot, oh, they're just doing it in there, they're not going to be out here. No, when they take off from there, they continue the speeding, driving that on the streets.
They also, there's some questions up there, but another one that came up because you spoke about it. People are asking the children that were recovered, are they okay?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware.
And the reason why that was important, because people report seeing kids involved, children crying in kind of unsavory situations. So we highly thank you for that. That article is something that you will be able to find posted on our website soon, because you need to know what your police story is.
There's ticket scams. I'm sure they're out there. I don't know of any particular ones or what exactly to look out for. But if you're going to buy them, obviously go through a reputable site company that kind of oversees all that. So they're expensive. I don't know.
In our Facebook page trying to sell tickets, and yeah, so they're coming as someone came to mind saying that my Comcast bill wasn't paid. I think my Comcast bill was paid. But they send you a link. Don't do it. Don't ever do
Yeah,
it.
that's the biggest thing with any scam, general or anything like that. If somebody reaching out to you, don't just click on what they're sending you, even if it looks like, hey, this is definitely AT&T. This is definitely whatever company I work with for whatever service I have. Say, okay, I see the email, I see the link, great. Now I'm going to go and look you up, and I'm going to research it, and I'm going to be the one reaching out to you. Not you came to me, now I'm just going right to you and funneling right into whatever link this is. Because some people are pretty good at it, disguising some of these things, make them look real. Like shipping, oh, we couldn't deliver your package, and you're like, oh, yeah, I am expecting something today. I better click on it right away. I got to see why they couldn't deliver it. Now, find out, go back to like where you ordered it from, that company, track your package, and then see where it's at. where you be the one reaching out to the places, to the companies. They'll just go, oh, they came to me, so I'm just gonna put it on this easier. Maybe extra couple minutes research. Polos, I mean, nothing in particular lately as far as any.
Can you explain to me?
Well, yeah, be on the lookout. It's a bolo, so a lot of times we'll have a robbery or something like that occurs in the area. If we get video footage of it, our Crime Stoppers, our detectives will send out a bolo wanted form. If we get those and it pertains to Northwest District, I will share it on our social media. So if we get anything like that comes up, we got video tape footage or anything like that, and it's something that the detectives want to share or Crime Stoppers wants to share, you can find that at IMPD Northwest District's Facebook, on our X account, and our Instagram as well. So you'll know those bolos are out there when you see them post on there as far as what's on Northwest District.
And I understand how and facial. Well, we are aware that people can get your facial recognition, they get your information off of Facebook and other social media, and that they can track you down. So you have to be careful what you put on the World Wide Web. Yeah, because once they have your facial recognition, is there anything that people can do when they get hit like that legally?
I mean, there's identity scanning and stuff like that. See if they go.
Do they file a report?
Yeah, reports are always good to have for anything like that. So any sort of scam, if you've been frauded, even if you think, well, it was done online, there's no way they can track this. A lot of times we run into that in the cyberspace. But having a record of these things is always good. So, I mean, it's the smallest thing. Somebody stole wind chimes off the front porch. Small crime, not a big deal. We want to know as a police department where things are happening. Like I said before, with the speeding and the reckless driving, we want to know where to send our resources, where to concentrate. So same with the fraud, identity scams, anything like that. Let us know so we know, okay, this is trending up. There's an issue. We've got to start alerting the citizens more. We've got to start educating people more what to look out for. We start doing more fraud prevention classes, whatnot. Yeah, with AI, that's a whole new thing that we're going to all have to deal with, and it's evolving quicker and quicker. As, like I said, with all of us, we just all have to be a little bit more cautious about who we're giving our information to and what we're sharing out there. Best thing you can do is see the dangerous dog if it's aggressive. And you know it's aggressive, chasing people or putting you in fear, you can call 911 for that. Animal control will usually dispatch or ask to dispatch us out there to check it out first. They are shorthanded and they're usually trying to play catch up with multiple other calls that they have, kind of filling up a lot of their space. But if it's actually in progress, we can see the dog, we have visual on the dog, we kind of contain it, they can come out a lot quicker then and do something with it. But usually they want us to check the area, see if we can even locate the dog. Sometimes we get there, it's not there, and it's the owner found the dog and already put it up. But I'd say the best thing is to avoid, don't go out there trying to get it yourself or anything like that. Just get to a safe place, call us, and we'll go from there on that one. But if it's a repetitive issue, the dog's not out at that moment, feel free to, you can get on request ND and then report that for animal incident. Say we have loose dogs coming from this location. You can type in the address where they're coming from. You can put in the description of the dog, everything else. It'll be funneled then to animal control for them to do a follow-up. May not be that day, maybe sometime that week, depending on their caseload. But they can always follow up on it, kind of do an investigation for it. Animal control usually they handle that. That's not ours, but I've been on the calls with them. They can issue citations for that, for letting the dogs off leash. They are supposed to always be on a leash if they're out in public.
I think what they kind of asked about is,
Okay.
the,
Mobile crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is?
they wanted to know what that.
MCAT is our mobile crisis unit. It's a officer, so an IPD officer with a clinician. So they will respond to any sort of crisis run, so a mental crisis type call. So if somebody's not taking their medication, acting erratically, acting suicidal or anything like that type of call, they're the ones that are dispatched to those to handle those type of runs. So it's an officer responding with an actual clinician to respond to those. They also follow up on previous cases. So if an officer had a reason to place somebody under immediate detention, and they're a threat to themselves, others need immediate medical help, they can follow up the next day or two to make sure that the person that was placed under this immediate detention is getting the services that they need. A lot of times they'll even drive them to their appointments to make sure they're getting to the appointments that they need. So they're getting all the medication that they may need, things like that. So a lot of times they've run into, well, this person's fine. They want to do all the right things, but they're just having a hard time getting somebody to take them to where they got to go, or just kind of getting that on their schedule, being reminded, hey, you guys have to go to this appointment on this day, this day, this day. I mean, you never know. They just kind of get off track with keeping their schedule, keeping their medication going. So they're good at that too. Just kind of following up, make sure everybody's on the right step with their doctors.
Other than one of them, we have a lot of information on the table from both of those lifelines. You don't know what that is. Please take some of that, and I know that they dealt with various issues. People don't understand when someone has substance use disorder, what they're going through, and what's really happening.
That's all you have Narcan over there too.
Yes.
If you don't have one, take one.
Should have.
Very important to have. Just never know where you might be when somebody might need it. And it's very easy to use. It can save a lot of lives. And if you use it, the person didn't really need it to be done, it really doesn't do any harm to them either. So it's a really nice tool.
And that's all free. People do pay for that, but all those lifelines provide that for free. And you can sign up for something. It doesn't mean you or anyone in your family has a problem, but like you said, you can be anywhere and someone could fall out. It won't hurt them. Kids can't get hurt if they get a hold of it. The problem is sorted out, but it's not going to hurt anyone. So there's a training that they have to teach you. So please learn more about substance disorders and have it, keep it with you in your car, in your purse, etc. Take as many as you need.
Great questions here.
We still have curfew on the kids, do we not?
Curfew on the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Saturday.
always something that's there. Enforcement of it has been kind of what have you. It's not just enforced to enforce type of thing. Like, oh, we're just out, you're this age, now we're going to do something and go after and get these kids. It's usually something that's accompanied with something else. They're out doing a crime or out doing something, and then on top of that, oh, now you're actually out past a normal time. So as far as just out on patrol looking for somebody that's violating curfew, that's not something that's actively done on that level.
Well, if you have to stop a kid for speeding violations, not supposed to be out that time. Anyway, like it for being beyond curfew.
I mean, it can be done, yeah. I don't know where it would go from there. As far as the biggest thing would be the ticket part. As far as enforcement.
Yes, in this area, have you seen an uptick in heroin addiction or drug substance abuse?
I mean, can't speak on that too much on say exactly, let me tell you exactly, here's the facts, here's the
Right,
numbers. From my observation, just what I'm hearing on the radios and just reports, feels like there's been for like a couple years ago, we had a very high uptick of heroin overdoses. I feel like a lot of calls from the radio for that. I don't think there's been as many calls like that on the radio for those. That could also be Narcan helping out. Maybe somebody else has it nearby, use it, and they may or may not call us. But there has been less of that. But as far as the numbers, I don't really have the numbers on that. I mean, it's obviously still a problem, just overdoses and the use of any sort of drugs. But I don't know if there's an uptick or a state sending.
The one not getting answer that too. I'm on the coalition called. That's where all that came from, all those lifeline works with all various degrees and including IMDb. There is something over there called charity. Anyone can sign up for that. I actually signed up for it to see what it would do. And they send out alerts letting you know when there's an uptick or when there are bad drugs in the area. Of course, no drugs are good, but some of these drugs are related to fentanyl. And when the reports start coming in, they actually let people know. They let the people with substance use disorder know. We'd like for them to live long enough to get through this to get help. So take all the information you can, have QR codes on the thing. And you'll find out a lot because they found that since Overdose Lifeline started working on this, to get this started up in the last 2 years, there's been about 26% drop. And what Overdose Lifeline, the macro coalition, is to find out what are the policies, which led to a larger amount of African American deaths on overdose. Of course, what we found out in that was so it's years of that because the African American community had a disparity in the amount of deaths. Much more.
But the root is the dealers. That's where it starts. Well, that's supposed to be on that, so here, I mean, are you cracking down on the dealers, trying to, bring the hammer to those guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's always investigated. So as long as we're getting information on where it's coming from, it's always being investigated. We got units that just do that. So that's where we count, like, once again, I'll keep going after that, but that's where we count on you guys, citizens living in these neighborhoods. We get a lot of tips from people, a lot of like meetings like this, any sort of gatherings, that where they know they can reach out to us, say, hey, this house around the corner, just noticing a lot of activity. That's all they have to tell us is, hey, it's a lot of activity. Okay. That goes on our radar. We immediately alert people that then investigate that type of stuff. We just go from there. But yeah, it's obviously still taken very seriously, especially with fentanyl. She mentioned fentanyl. That's kind of that's the new thing. That's the new. We had heroin for a little bit. Now fentanyl seems to be what's causing a lot of issues with overdoses.
I was wondering, we thank you so much. And the last thing, because I think I'm talking about go over, but is there a tip line number to report anonymous?
Yeah, you call Crime Stoppers. It's 262-8477. 262-8477. 262-TIPS, TIPS.
317, right?
Yep.
Can everyone see that?
Oh, that's right. 262-TIPS. I think it's 8477. One spells out on the phone. But that's through Crime Stoppers. And so that if you really, really are worried, I'd say I got to be anonymous. I can't risk it. Like family, I'm worried. I want to protect them. I don't want them to ever come back. Crime Stoppers. Go right to them, call that number. It's routed straight up through Canada. Once they get it up in Canada, the number gets scrambled, everything else. They do not release that information back to us when they contact our local Crime Stoppers. I just let them know what it is, where it's coming from, not who called, not what area they called from, nothing. Here's the meat and potatoes of what the call's about. And that's it. They've never given up anybody's information or anything like that in all the years they've done Crime Stoppers. So it's never been violated, anything like that. So super serious, taken very seriously. So that is a foolproof, completely anonymous way. The only way somebody would ever know is if you told somebody else that, hey, I called Crime Stoppers about this house. So if you're gonna go through all that and call Crime Stoppers, don't go telling everybody else that you did this. That's the only way we come back to you.
Thank you, Officer Water. If you have any other questions, then, I'm not sure if you put contact information on the back. It's on the website, isn't it? So we want everyone to go to the website, give Officer Waterman a hand, please. All the questions, all the answers, and we try to get them in here now first. So, thank you for everything. Next, and you see on your agenda, is technology, TikTok. And our webmaster, he go to CookieCreekOpen.com. That's how we did it. This was for Sol Williams. So I can tell us a bit about
Hello? So, yeah, we just let's go to so this is the original site, and if you want, we'll put you the information off the water, you scroll down. Down, it's not there.
There we go.
There you go. More information. And here's the information. If you want managing as well. So here's all the information pertaining to IMDb. So if you do want some information, that's really common. But I've been making some changes, I want to be better, make it look better. So it's not ready to release, but I'm going to show a couple things on the new website. But, yes, for the new website, it's still taking the same. You go to Crooked Creek Alert. But this is the new site. It looks similar. It looks not the same, but I made some changes. Just going to show you a couple of different things I've changed. So right there, you see it pops up. You know, hey, you want to get alerts? You want to get alerted to what's going on? You put in your details. And this is still in the works, so it may look a little different, but they buy the input or ideas and make changes. But let's get next. And if you go to, let's look at all this. Go to caps. Everything is changing at the very top. We've got the caps page. Our other tech team member, Angelina, made a advertising video about that. Tell us more about what a cap is.
Good day, greetings and welcome to all. The Crooked Creek Alert Indianapolis is so excited to be putting out this official CCA CAP call out to all those that reside in the Indianapolis area. Wait a minute, is she being No, I'm the CAP call. That is the CCA CAP call. So before we dive into that, you're probably wondering, who is Crooked Creek Alert?
And you're gonna have to go and figure out and find the message. Not to have to go through it.
I was gonna show you.
You go to creekalert.com because there's so much information on it.
This is just the cap page. Looks a little different. I'm putting in a nice little box. You can see, oh, this is good. It's different things. Still alphabetical. So it's still the same. And then you click on resources, and you put everything.
Let me stop you. Chef,
Sitting right there, like your hand. That's just one of our cats. Another one over there. Cat puts some skin in the game. Another one sitting there.
Oh, yes, and then, yes, this is pretty fun, all the tax information, the contact information as well, that website. And then you click on resources. I did the redid resources page, it's still alphabetical, so put it like all in like, list like that. So like say, for instance, you want to go, let's go down to the Marion County Health Department. So yeah, this is the Marion County Health Department. So you click there, it actually brings up all the notices. So you can just, if you want to look at it, you can notice or report it. On the top would be the very first one. Basically, click on each subject and it opens up to whatever information the actual notice that you have for this month. That opens up to new page, goes credit out. Flyer, but like I said, it's still in works, still working. The website. But yeah, everything, this is where everything you need that you need to know. If you want a flyer, how we have a flyer page that is there. And then, yeah, that's really but yeah, scroll down, look at a couple things, the citizens gas, different things there, so you can always click on it and it will open to flyer you can actually credit. QR and scan that, it's on the page to the website. So they actually. Yes, ma'am. Did I know that?
Maintain.
Oh, okay, so the name. Okay, so in that case, if something were to change, that we didn't know about, click on contact us. So nice segue. So you put on, and this is where you would go. So any changes you want to see made or corrections are made, you can put in the comments. If you have to report something, you go here. If you want to just send an email, it's a send comment. Go back up to the comment. Oh yeah, you click there, or if you just want to send an email, you send an email to a9@perfectcreekalert.com. That you send an email, but yeah, you can go here and put the information. Any questions?
And there's so much more. We haven't spent a little time looking at that. And I want to tell you, you can get way more out of that website than we can fit in 2 hours. You will be able to find things where land use has something. We're going to be able to post that. Everybody pretty much has to get acclimated for using the internet because it's not going anywhere. They're taking away the banks. You can't go to a physical bank most of the time. You have to be able to go on the internet. If you don't know how to utilize it, he has tutorials on there, on Zoom. There are tutorials you can get involved in for free in the library. So please update your thinking a little bit. You don't have to go 1,000% on the grid and stuff, but you need to learn something else on the one you.
And you know what? Can I add something? With you all going to the website and subscribing to the website. Oh, don't leave. I was gonna say when you all subscribe to the website and stay up with what's going on with the website, there's so much more information that you're gonna find than you would on Facebook. So when you're looking for what we have going on, go to the website before you go to Facebook on our Facebook page because there's so much more that you can dive into. So let that be the go-to spot.
And there are some changes that you're going to love. You're going to love. Even when you're not out and you're not getting out physically, there are things that are just going to make the hair stand up on the back of the head. Because technology is coming to you in another way, and you'll be able to hear from people that you could not get to. I'm not going to tip it all out. And I know that Angelina Tardy is next, but right now, what I want to do is introduce you to someone who took the time to come and meet us. And we are familiar with the mayor's office. And we also are familiar with Nina Rusa. Remember, Nina comes out as mayor's neighborhood advocate. Guess what? We have a new mayor's neighborhood advocate. Give a hand to Ms. Kathleen. Right.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Josephine Medina. I am one of the mayor's neighborhood advocates. My area is area number 5. And Crooked Creek actually happens to be an area that Nina Giuseppe, my coworker, for area 1, we actually share this area. And I just moved into the area. Welcome. Thank you. So we'll be sharing these meetings. It'll be between me and Nina. But I will share the updates that I have for you today. There are quite a few, so just stick along with me while I. Yes, I will go over that after the announcements, and I'll share these first. So as fall season is here, a lot of the calls that we receive are related to open burning. There is an open burning ordinance, and I just wanted to remind everybody of the open burning types that are allowed, such as cooking fires, barbecue grills, campfires, patio, fire pits, or chimney ceremonial bonfires conducted by established groups such as schools, churches, or other recognized organizations. Items that are not allowed to be burned are leaves, grass clippings, stumps, household garbage, waste lumber, furniture, mattresses, land clearing debris, dead animals, tires, asbestos material, wire, and hazardous materials. Any illegal burning can result in fines up to $2,500. So if you see anyone out there doing this, burning things that they should not be burning, please call the Mayor's Action Center, report it. I did bring a flyer today. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Request Indie. This flyer will teach you step by step on how to create that, how to download the app, and create that service request. I know that sometimes these things may happen on the weekend. There is a way to call the Mayor's Action Center and leave a voicemail, and they will return your call starting on Monday. If you can get a picture of it, obviously not, I don't want anybody to not be safe doing this, but if you are able to get a picture of this happening, please, you can contact me or Mina, send us those pictures, and we can see. Our job is primarily to talk with the other agencies that deal with the issues that you're submitting and try to figure out, help you guys navigate the system a little better and get those things completed. So that's related to open burning issues. One of the other announcements is the city impound lot has relocated. They've actually the impound lot, which is auto return, has moved to 325 South Coast Road. Any vehicles towed before August 26th will still be released from the Belmont lot. It's at the 2451 South Belmont. Any vehicles towed after 26 will be retrieved at the new lot, which is 325 South Coast Road. The other thing that I just wanted to remind everybody about is that we are starting the leaf collection season, and that starts on November 11th through December 6th. It's Friday, December 6th. And just a reminder, residents can leave up to 40 bags of leaves for pickup, and it'll be picked up on your regular scheduled trash day. Please leave those at least 3 feet away from your cart so that it's easier for our trash crew to pick those up. Please place the leaves in plastic bags. Paper bags can deteriorate or break apart depending on the weather. Keep bags, like I said, at least 3 feet away from your trash cart. Leaf bags should be outside by 7 a.m. on your normal trash day. Yes.
That was 3 feet from where?
From your trash cart.
Oh.
From your cart. It just makes it easier for the crew to pick up. And like I said, that's on November 11th. That starts November 11th and goes through December 6th. I also brought the same paper that has the request and the information on how to create that, or how to download the app and create the service request. On the back side, it has information about illegal dumping. That's also a big, one of the biggest calls that we get in this area is for illegal dumping. So if you see, any area that maybe somebody was moving out, maybe somebody came and left, just dropped off some trash there, please report it. There is also Business and Neighborhood Services is the agency that handles these. And they also are offering like signs that you can go to the office and pick up. Just like the no dumping signs. So that's the information for illegal dumping. I also have this brochure that has my contact information on the front, and I have them right there on the table. It lists all the agencies that you can submit a report to on Request Indy, or even when you call the Mayor's Action Center, if you're not comfortable with using the app. And it has QR codes where you can scan and it'll take you directly to the webpage of the agency where you can see what it is that they do. This pamphlet has brief summaries of what the agencies handle, but this is just helpful for when you are submitting those requests. Some of the reasons why the requests sometimes do not get handled properly or completed is because sometimes they're not reported to the correct agency, just several things. But this is just something to help the residents or neighbors of this area. And I think that is, and then just a reminder, November 5th, this Tuesday is election day. Polls will be open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And then the last announcement is there is an attendance advocacy program or initiative that the city has. If anyone or of anyone that is facing eviction or is in a situation similar to that and they have a court date already, please tell them that the most important thing for them to do is actually go to court if they are facing an eviction. And there is a group called TAP. It stands for Tenant Advocacy Project. They offer free legal aid, and they are actually at the 10 courts that we have throughout Marion County. They're there at the courts to help those individuals that are facing eviction or in some sort of issue or situation where they're having issues with their landlord or such. So those are all the announcements. Is there any questions for me? Yes.
I have a question about, where I live, we have inundated with trees, oak trees and old trees. And, so every time we've had these wind storms come through, it brings down, small branches, large branches, and what have you. Is there any way you can hook them up, put them?
Yeah.
Will they accept that along with the leaves?
Yes.
Or you
So
have to do them
trees
separately?
are always a tricky subject because it depends sometimes if they're on private property, if they belong to the city, that kind of thing. If it's tree debris, like the branches that are falling off, like you're explaining because of the wind, you do have an option for heavy trash. There is one time a month that every resident has heavy trash available to them, where they will leave out up to 2 items, and one of the items can be the branches. They do have to be cut up. I think it's 3 by 3, just bundled up, and those can be picked up for heavy trash, and those can count as one of your 2 items for heavy trash.
You have a contact number for the TAP by chance?
I do. I do. The contact number that I have for that is 317-327-2228.
Thank you.
Anything else from you? I also, I'll mention, I do have a Facebook page where I just started it. I'm fairly new actually to this role. And I try to put as many, just announcements, little things that are going on in the area there. I also have a Nextdoor account where you can follow for any updates and announcements there as well. I hold office hours. I just finalized some hours. I do Thursdays at the Eagle Branch Library because my area covers a lot of the northwest part of Marion County. So at the Eagle Branch Library on Thursdays from 2 to 4. Sometimes there are changes depending on my schedule. But I'm always open for one-on-ones. I'm always, my contact information, like I mentioned, is there on the brochures. And I also have office hours on the last Tuesday of every month at the International District Community Center. And those hours are from 3 to 4, 3:30 to 4. Yeah, so feel free to come visit me then. Yeah.
Is there any violation, you was parking that car, trying to go like looking for,
Yes.
how? About,
Yes, so parking in, you're not supposed to be parking in New York. That is the
what number
violation.
is on?
What you would do is you could call the Mayor's Action Center as well, make a report with them, or you could do it through requesting.
Just so you know, before you go to the next one, the issue that he's pointing out, we have contacted several times. Can they get in touch with you and will you help follow up with that?
Yeah.
Because it's getting to be critical sometime, and with that comes the
Yeah.
change, the rubber will change the crime. So, yeah.
So are you saying just one specific address, or this is like a neighborhood issue? Neighborhood, what you saying?
It's
More than-
getting more prevalent, the fact it has been followed up through and they haven't evidently been cited or taken to court where they're not worried about doing it. Maybe they want a $2,500 fine.
Well, actually, there is an initiative that I started working with IMPD. We've been doing what we call sweeps. We'll go through a neighborhood. We just did one last week. We'll go through a neighborhood that is having a lot of parking in the yard issue, cars parking the wrong way. Sometimes there's commercial parking and residential area, which is not allowed either. Sometimes we find illegal dumping. And what we've done is we're starting to do these sweeps through neighborhoods. We're doing them maybe at least once a month between a neighborhood. I'll go around with the IMPD officers. They'll leave it's a flyer that explains the rules, regulations of, which way you're supposed to be parking, where you're not supposed to be blocking the curb, the sidewalk. And then I'll go through and kind of see the illegally parking on the yard and see the commercial buildings, and they'll be making reports throughout our suite.
With that, I know that will make some people very happy because one, they are neighbors. They, as we said before, people want to do something anonymously. They don't want to put themselves out
Right.
if someone's right next door. What I would love to do is point to come to me and give you guys a list of them. You know where to go. And then people, if they can they email you at that
Of
email
course,
that we
yeah.
have here at Jocelyn,
Yeah.
Medina@indy.gov, and I'll highlight that again.
And I brought the pictures. They
And
have
is it on your-
same information on the front.
Okay, so pick this up so you can get that and you can take care of that because we're having problems with these other problems.
Yeah, and if you've already reported it to the MAC, that's actually the first step. And if you have that 10-digit code, the 10-digit case number, you can go ahead and send it over to me through email. My phone number is on there. That's the only number that I have. You can text it. It's a text mobile number. Or, yes, go ahead and, it's those.
Right, yeah, we want you to get all this information and share it with somebody. So this is a problem and it's getting worse
Right,
and worse. And with that, we've had people parking and blocking people so they can't get out and then they're working on cars and the food trucks that are coming, people selling food illegally and
Yeah.
blocking streets and all that. So we need to get that.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so feel free to send me that info and I can look into it and talk to the agency that is in charge of that.
We're running a little behind and I take it on me.
To,
I need to,
go ahead.
Yes, so I want to make sure, understand, if you report it to the back, then you put it, it will be you, and you will file a list of those addresses that have violations that have tracking numbers of those cases, and then you will in turn share that with her. That's the way we're gonna post this.
You want them to share it with you first or report it to the map?
And
give you the
we may not have to do that, but I have people who have come to me about it, and we've been working on some things, and we turned it in. But she is the conduit for that, the MAC Center, call it in, write down that number, and then email it to her. We've been told before that it has to be a certain amount of days before we send it.
So that is true. All the service requests do have a certain amount of time. I actually worked at the map before taking on this role, so I have a little bit more of insight. They all have a certain amount of time that we have to allow the agency, give them a chance to go out there. However, if this is a repetitive thing, continuous, that you go ahead and do the same thing, report it to the map so that, they have that information as well. But go ahead and use your M&A to, and I can.
I think that's better, because people may set that number down and they forget, but the thing goes on, and then you gotta use the number for a paper trail. So everyone clear on how to do that?
Okay,
Okay.
I do want to address the issue that, going, so when there is a lot of communication, when we force them to do that, there is also a website which we can track it ourselves, it's called Self. The only thing about this website is the inspector or whoever is supposed to get it doesn't give enough information when they say, no, it's not a violation. And all that is creating confusion because that inspector may be getting the wrong address, puts the wrong address, but at the same time, there has to be some clarity in the respect, honesty. I understand it takes me sometimes 1 to 2 weeks before I'm sending on a letter of notice violation and going through all that. But there's some cases that have been going on for years at the same location, stuck in legally like that. And for some reason, that's as far as it's got. There's no strength, there's no, individual persuasion that you get someone completely applied to a violation and it goes illegal and legal just sits on it. So that problem has to go away.
If you have a specific one and you can share with me, I can talk to our OCC office or legal counsel office and check on the status of the case. They are doing some updating to our system to how you can see the statuses and all those kinds of things. So they are doing a couple of changes so that you will be able to see those in the near future. But as far as if there's a specific case that is just stuck and you don't know anything about, I can certainly help you ask the agency the right person to give me an update on it.
I'm going to say something real quick. Really, when we approach issues, saying, giving him credit and respect with some of it because Eric is our land use chair. And he's been working diligently to try to solve it. He's not trying to slam hammers down on people. He's telling the valid information, which is frustrating for some of the people that they go, he's doing his job, but then somehow, so please,
Okay, yeah.
please,
Yeah.
he's telling the valid information.
Yeah, no,
Appreciate it. He really works.
Okay.
Last question, but something I'm thinking about when we talk about the food trucks on the property and the cars in the yard. I've seen a trend where they are paving their front yards, which is in 25% of your front yard can be used for the type of driveway paving. People paving half their yard into their full yard, which causes them issues. Or it's going where it should be going. I typically think it's because of maybe where they came from in the area of the United States, where that's not a problem. The front yards are really cars be parked in front of. But at the same time, one person does it, then 5 people do it, then 12 people do it. I've seen that trend happen now. I'll just put them in that one same category. So you basically know once you have a track number and how they expect to respond to it on where is there an enforcement of what we use for. So if everyone could maybe take a look at their neighborhood and see some certain properties that have the whole front yard paved and Once I mean, when they literally get the paper correctly because of training. At the same time, they're doing it because they see that no one enforces it. So people, I don't think saying that just overwhelming.
And how are they getting away with that? Because don't they have to have a permit to do that?
Yeah.
And if they have to have a permit, we need those inspectors to come back and see, are they doing what they were permitted to do? Because they're far exceeding anything like that. And then you have people all backed up because their water's not draining in the ground. And we are paying when we pay because now we have caused less drainage into the ground. And so I think they're not, somehow they're getting past.
Again, yeah, I would like to maybe see those specific ones so I can go back and take a look and talk to legal counsel and figure out what the exact status on this is and what the inspector actually, you know, what violations are actually given to those people.
And look on the back of your agenda and you will find their email. So get him that information. You have another question.
Oh, does that include the drainage ditches too, that they pave over or cover with dirt to go out far? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay, that includes that too, because culverts have. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
culverts,
very-
yes.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of what
Well, we are getting further into and we need to, I know that Derek and Rico was next, but he had these down there to kind of tie it in. He's pretty much in the agenda. She is here, she interjects as we go along. But what we want to do, give her a hand. We've been talking about for a while, so hang with her, let's get that information into her, everything. All those people who are talking in your ear and calling my ear, and I have someone who will contact you at 3:00 in the morning. I just want to answer you. So get it to Derek, and on the back of your agenda, you'll find different people's information. And thank you for the request that we are having a problem with it. We cannot navigate that.
Okay. Yeah.
We can't put in keywords. We really need someone to help with the keywords on the request in these sites, because we put in neighborhood, anything, it does not pop up. So if they have got you working on that, or you know someone to tell, we highly appreciate that. So now, what you came out on, what you needed to know, you needed to know all that too. Our main focus here is that we know that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security are under change, and we've been told that the big changes are coming to Medicare. And sometimes that affects Medicaid, et cetera, et cetera. The person that we have coming here is Indiana State Health Insurance Assistant Program Representative from SHIP. I'm going to let him explain that to you, but give Mr. Bruce Mueller a round of applause so he can tell us what's going on. I want you to listen to him and write the questions down and let him get through. And then I'll type them up here. If he ever needs to screen, we'll turn that over to him for a while. But let's see what he has to say. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. I really enjoyed her information. That all goes for where I live too. Lots of my questions were answered. Again, my name is Bruce Mueller and I'm with SHIP, which is the State Health Insurance Assistance Program. We are federally funded by Medicare, and we are under the umbrella of the Indiana Department of Insurance. That being said, we are all things to help people locally with Medicare. We are not affiliated with any insurance companies, or we're not insurance agents. However, we help people after they've signed up for Medicare. We've helped them choose what kind of plan they're going to use. We help people who are new to Medicare, been on Medicare. I'm on TRICARE for life. What do I do? I'm a postal worker. How does that work? I'm a federal employee. How does that work? I'm a veteran. How does that work? We take care of all those questions. We operate both with volunteers and also certain organizations that have paid staff who are what we call SHIP trained. So our volunteers go through a strenuous training program, 3 to 4 days, and then there's always ongoing training. The people that call SHIP trained with organizations such as SACOA, Jane Pauley clinics, Health Net, and lots of other federally funded clinics are also SHIP, is what we call a SHIP training. If you're on Medicare now, you've gotten this book. You get this book every year. I recommend you keep it by your bedstand in case you can't sleep at night. That's a good time to read it. But it does have all the information that you need about Medicare. That is our number. This book is published by the state. So that is our toll-free number on there, to help you with all this Medicare. So you probably heard that there are changes coming in Medicare, and there are several significant ones. First thing we want you to be aware of, if you're already on Medicare and you're on an Advantage plan, then you should have gotten your annual notice of changes for 2025. Now, this is very important to look at. I know in past years, they say, oh, I got that, and I didn't look at it, everything's fine. Well, this year, you need to go through this booklet you get from your insurance company because there could be some changes. And don't just glance through it. We really recommend that you go through it page by page, item by item, to see what the changes are. Because some of the things are confusing. I've got this one from an insurance company, and when you look at it, it's kind of hard to tell what they're doing with your dental benefits. I know of one where the benefits used to be free, now they're $50 a month if you want them. But when you go through this book, it's kind of confusing. So you might have to call the company itself to see, what the changes are. But do make sure that you look at this, because January 1 rolls around, there might be some changes in your plan that are really detrimental to your health insurance. What kind of changes might you see? Some of them might have a lower out-of-pocket cost, which is great. Higher copays could be. The drugs may be that are offered are fewer. They might be changing to step therapy. What that is, before you get the brand name drug, they might want you to try a generic to see if that works first. You might also have some good news. There might be more generic drugs. And some of the plans are dropping some of the little extras, the bells and whistles. Like some of them have given you $40, $50, $60 worth of over-the-counter drugs every quarter. Some companies are dropping those. Of another company that their doctor was dropped. Some of you may have Part D prescription drug plans that are being dropped in our area. Across the United States, some companies have dropped around 250,000 enrollees. I haven't seen that happen in our area by a large amount, but there are all kinds of plans like that. So you really do need to go through it carefully to make sure that when it rolls around, everything's in place for you. You don't want January 1st to come around and you find out my doctor's not in the plan, my drug's not in my plan, and all those things. So it's important to look at the changes. And that's where SHIP comes in, because we can help you if you need to change your plan. We can answer your questions about your plan, help you contact the plan, so on and so forth, so that everything is being done. One of the good things that's happening is that for your drugs, now there's going to be a $2,000 limit out of pocket. Now, I know that sounds like a lot of money, but for a lot of people, that's a bonus. The donut hole is going away. So for those of you here locally, you just have to go to Longstone and get your donuts. But the good news is that's going away. That's being replaced by this maximum out-of-pocket expense. So if you're going to search for a new drug plan or a new Advantage plan, that's going to come into play. And that's, again, something that your agent can help you with if you work with an agent, or that we can help you do. And speaking of agents, reminds me of ads. I know you see all those ads that are on TV every day, every night, every minute, especially by all the Hollywood folks out there. copy the ads. You don't want to call any of those 800 numbers to take care of your Medicare needs. You want to find somebody locally, deal with somebody locally. They're going to take much better care of you. You're going to get a lot of phone calls all the time. Don't even answer those because they're all coming from out of state. They're all coming from even some third-party companies that all they're doing is collecting your information to sell to an insurance company. And they really don't care about what they tell you in order to get you to sign up with them. So again, that's going to be a $2,000 limit on your out-of-pocket drug cost. Now, all those drugs need to be in your plan, in what we call your formulary. The formulary are the drugs that are in your plan. So if you sometimes get something from GoodRx or one of the discount people like that, that's not going to count towards your $2,000 out of pocket. Sometimes it is cheaper to go to one of those plans, but those drugs are not going to count towards your maybe your deductible or towards this $2,000 limit. So you may get the $2,000 limit if you're on real expensive drugs. It might hit you in a couple of months, or it might take longer. But it's a good thing, and that's really going to help a lot of us. One of the other things that's going to help with your drug program is that we now have what we call smoothing. That's a payment plan. And that's mainly for people who have high drug costs, especially at the beginning of the year, because what that plan's going to do, for instance, in January, if you have a high deductible, maybe you have a $500 deductible, and you have to pay that before you get your drugs. With the smoothing plan, you go on this program, and it's kind of like a charge card. Only there's no interest. It's not really going to save you money, but what that's going to do is to take that high cost and then break it up throughout the rest of the year. So when you go to the drugstore in January, maybe you've got an expensive drug that's going to take your deductible into account and the drug cost, and then it's going to break up that payment through the rest of the year. Again, it's not really a savings program. There's no interest. The main point is just to help you spread those costs out. And that will all have to be taken care of before next year. So instead of paying at the pharmacy, you're going to pay to your drug company. They're going to send you a bill every month. So again, you want to make sure you're checking your plan, whether you're on a separate Part D plan or you're on an Advantage plan, to make sure all your drugs are in their formulary. And then all your doctors and everything's in your plan. That's why I just can't stress enough to do your homework, take a look at that annual notice of change. If you have any questions about a concern, you can always call us. The other thing that a lot of people ask us about almost any time of year, I'm still working and I'm on a company plan. Do I have to sign up for Medicare? That's a big piece of misinformation out there. As long as you have through your employer an employee medical plan, you don't have to sign up for Medicare. The one requirement is that you are working with an employer who is over 20 employees, and that their plan is also what we call credible health insurance, meaning equal to or better than Medicare. So if you're with a large company, and you have that kind of drug plan, medical plan, you don't have to sign up for Medicare. You'll have a special enrollment period when you do sign up for Medicare. There are no penalties involved. Lots of people say, oh, I understand I'm going to have a penalty if I don't sign up. And I hear this over and over again. And when I ask them, who told you this? They quite often say, oh, my fellow employees. Well, there's your problem. You need to ask somebody that really knows. But in general, you don't have to sign up. If you do have a plan through your employer, and it is a large employer, over 20 people, and it is what we call credible health insurance. Now, it is open enrollment period. So that goes from now through December 7th. What is open enrollment period? That's where you can do several things. If you're on what we call original Medicare and you want to go to an Advantage plan, you can do that. You could change your Advantage plan from one company to another. If you're not already signed up for Medicare, you can sign up, for a drug plan, you can sign up now. So again, if you're on original, you go to Advantage plan, you can sign up for a drug plan, you can change your Advantage plans, and you can do that as many times as you want until the deadline. So you can, go through, especially if you do have something wrong, then you can make those changes. There are some glitches, so to speak. If you're on an Advantage plan, you want to go back to original Medicare. That's a little tougher to do because now the Medigap or supplement company can underwrite you, meaning they can look at your health situation and see whether or not they're going to insure you or not. One of the other things that we do help people with in conjunction with Medicaid, quite often people have been on HIP, the Healthy Indiana plan, and now they turn 65. What do you have to do? We help people with that situation. And again, we can help answer any of your questions about Medicare, whether, like I said, a federal employee or any other thing like that. We can help you with that. One other note, especially at this time of year, if you are on a retirement plan that is through your company or through a union, you do not want to make any changes to those plans unless it is approved by the plan or they have told you this is the way it's going to be for next year. Just don't go buy some other plan that might work, you think will work with yours, because once you do that, you'll be kicked off of that plan and you can't go back. You can't call them up and say, well, I didn't know I shouldn't have done that. No, don't make any changes to your plans if it's through a company or it's a union plan unless it's been approved by them and you know for sure that you can do this. So that's kind of it. It's kind of an overview on what's going on with Medicare. And things kind of a moving target. Mm-hmm. Some of you also, I should mention, you might be on pathways if you're what we call dual eligible. That dual eligibles are people who are on both Medicaid and Medicare. Now their plans are through 3 different companies. And so by now, I think everybody has pretty well been assigned to companies. But if you do have any questions about the pathways, you can also, call us. So that's basically, what I've got for you.
Yeah.
But we can get pretty deep in the weeds. Okay. Let's see. Let me just
Go back up to number one.
Okay. That's kind of a toughie, but it's Medicare or not. It really pretty well covers everything, that medically necessary. What is a Medicare supplement? Another word for the medical supplement is your Medigap plan. And that refers to when you're on original Medicare, your situation is that Medicare will pay 80, this is for Part B, the medical and doctor end. Medicare pays 80% and you have to pay 20%. And Medigap or supplement plan is what pays that other 20%. So when you're on original Medicare, you go to any doctor, any service that takes Medicare across the country, and that supplement will follow you. That's one of the bonuses of doing the supplement. I mentioned if you have been on Medicare for a period of time and you're on an Advantage plan, you want to go back to the supplement situation, now they can underwrite you. Again, they can look at your medical history and they may or may at what cost. Why do you have to provide policy? When you first sign up for Medicare, you have 6 months to get a Medigap or supplement plan. during that 6-month period, they can only ask you your age, where you live, do you smoke, and your gender. You could be terminally ill, and that's all they could do, and you were given the same rate as anybody else who's perfectly healthy. After that 6-month period, now they can, you want to go, pick up a policy, they can underwrite you looking at your health. That's the way the rules work. You fill out an application, and then they'll review that application and see whether or not they want to insure you.
Is that the initial sign up, or is that when you switch from one? Can you do it when you switch from one to another?
When you sign up initially, you have 6 months
Right.
to do that. But after that 6-month period, now they can do that underwriting. So,
Okay.
if I signed up at 66 and now I'm 76 and I think, I want to try going back, that doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's a little bit harder to get.
You don't want to get away with that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. Please follow the rules. Write your notes, follow the rules. Y'all follow the rules. I'm gonna follow the rules.
Yeah, I can't help you with the link. Anybody? I like it. Can you cancel a Medicare Advantage plan in the first 3 months if not said? Actually, you have a year's period. Excuse me, can you cancel it there for the first 3 months? If not said? You can cancel an Advantage plan, I think you would have but I was thinking of, you have a year's trial. When you first sign up for the Advantage plan, you do have a year's trial, right? Boy, that's where it's got to go. So I signed up at 65, I have a year trial right to go back to original Medicare without any of that underwriting issue.
I was thinking in terms of going to another event, like, going back to, but switching advantage plans, like you try to start with Humana, and then after looking at what you can text and you on top of it, you decide you want to go with another advantage plan instead of, you have a grace period.
That's what we're doing right now. You can, like, let's say you've been unhappy with your Humana plan, for lack of a better, the whole year you want to change. That's what goes on during this open enrollment period. So now you can shop for a different plan. So that's what goes on in the fall. I do, you're asking me a Medicaid question there.
I put that one on.
Yeah, I don't know Medicaid.
You said sometime they can do that,
Oh, I was talking about when we do it, and then, help the Indiana plan and the rest out there, so we help them navigate that situation. There's no interest charge used this movie. No. All that's there for is to just help you even out the payments. I don't understand the question, why can they deny a person who has cancer? I don't.
The person who asked that was trying to get a medical plan that could not get what they signed up.
You did Medicare. You first signed up for Medicare. Yeah. No, when you sign up for Medicare, there's no denial. So that would only apply if someone were trying to apply a Medigap or supplement after their adherence to the enrollment period. $100. They explain why people should or should not go for plans that offer hundreds of thousands of dollars. The plans that do offer some extras generally are the Medigap and the Medicare and the Medicaid policies. Those we have $6. let me say this about the plans that are offering a lot of extras. What you really need to be looking at primarily is how it's going to take care of your medical needs. So you don't want to be buying a plan by the bells and whistles. You understand what I'm saying? Something, oh, I want that plan, it gives me a gym membership, but it's not as good as a plan that gives me whatever. So you don't want to shop by the bells and whistles. You want to make sure you're looking at what plan takes care of your medical needs, making sure the doctors are in your plan, all the drugs are covered in the plan, so on and so forth. And this time of year, can you sign up for a new advantage plan? Yes, when you sign up, so let's say now, if you sign up for a new advantage plan, that one goes into place automatically. This insurance, but from primary you use your drugs before you pay your deductible. Well, you have the same deductible situation. You'll try care. And if somebody's got a specific TRICARE question, I'll give you my telephone number again. And I'd like to make sure you've got all your proper TRICARE information. If we need that with somebody really understands TRICARE. They say for the greatest benefits lost when moving away from original care plan. One of the biggest benefits is now, or problems, if you will, is now you will have a network of physicians in other services. They have to be in that plan. I would say that's the biggest one. Lots of things too. If you're on a certain time of the beginning, each of them will have this organization will assign you a doctor, and then if you need to go to a specialist, you need to get a referral to go to a specialist. Also, if you're traveling, let's say you're going to stay, Arizona for 6 months out of the year. Now, when you have an advantage plan, yes, you're covered for an emergency, but let's say you have a situation where you have to see the doctor every 2 or 3 weeks, and you're going to stay in Arizona with your grandkids or something. Now you have to find a doctor that's in your plan, and that might not be possible. So when you travel with original Medicare, just go to anybody, any doctor or service that takes Medicare, and you're covered, and then that supplement for a Medicare policy will pick up the other 20%. I think that would be the main one, really. You have to have the doctor's plan. There are some traveling. One of the things that we recommend, though, if you've got a situation with an advantage plan where they deny some sort of coverage for you, do make an appeal. Because they do deny you on some things that they shouldn't be. But if you appeal, they generally do correct that. But just make sure you can file an appeal if you have a problem. No, you do not have to sign up for the SUNY before December. You want to sign up that first of January through your insurance company. But also get the paper. You go to the pharmacy, they're going to give you the paperwork you are to sign. If you do not sign at the pharmacy, you sign up. Are we going to have to pay more out of pocket even if we don't switch our current plan? Well, that's why you have to take a look at your plan and see exactly what's going on with them. That's why I highly recommend that annual notice of change, because that's where they're going to tell you what your out of pocket is going to be. Yes, you can call us and we'll help you with the filing, generally, if it's if it's through original Medicare and Medicare itself, we can help you with that. Generally, what you should do is just get the paperwork for it. If they explain it. But we're all, there's sometimes, there's people some help on, what we're doing. The advantage plan, just get a hold of the My favorite subject. I used to work for the Attorney General's office. How do we avoid scams and generally referring to Medicare? One of the things you should be doing, you're going to get, information as to what you did through Medicare. I believe it's quarterly that you get that. And you want to go through that and make sure there's nothing on there that says your gallbladder is removed, but wait a minute, I've still got my gallbladder and I never had any surgery. That's when you, say, because Medicare scams and overcharges and everything, it's a huge business. Your Medicare card is even more important to, the scammers and cheaters than your credit card anymore. Because they just have found a way to cheat Medicare. By the way, does anybody still carry their Social Security card with them? Pardon me? Don't carry your Social Security card with you. I know by now you know the number. Some of you younger folks might not have it better. But don't carry that with you, because if you lose your wallet or your purse, there it is, boy. That's the biggie that it's going to set everything off. So don't carry that, but also protect your Medicare card too, again, because that's what people are after. And so you got to be careful again with all the 800 numbers and everything. When you go to Medicare, you go to Medicare.gov. I've had people that have gone to Medicare.com, and guess what they did? They got a hold of a company and gave them all their information. How do you get rid of them now? The alternative is not good because it's just never going to change. So you have to be really careful about calling people and not going to Medicare.gov. You get information, or just if you have to be shopping, you want to be real careful what information you get to people. Again, if you're using an insurance agent, there's plenty of good agents locally. I always recommend using a local agent. We don't recommend agents. I know lots of good agents I'd like to be able to recommend, but I can't. But you can come to us and we can help you shop. And especially during this period. That's what we have to, that would have to be investigated. I don't think it's going to be obvious. It's checking that. I know that for a while catheters was the greatest one. All of a sudden people get a box of 500 catheters on their front doorstep. That was one of the biggies for a while. I go back a period of time. I know diabetic shoes was a big thing, and then the mobile wheelchairs and motorized chairs. That was a biggie. And then what happens to those things? The pendulum swings the other way. So now it's become more difficult for people that need those things to get them because of the scammers.
Bruce, can you speak on how someone can set an appointment with you if they have a personal issue?
Yeah, I'll give you my telephone number. Contact you can contact me. My number is 317-283-4070. 4070. That's my personal number. Feel free to call me.
How about the criteria?
Call me on your TRICARE now. Yeah, I'll double check. I'll double check everything. Some of these things I don't have in my memory, but we have access to it. Sometimes I have my cheat book with me. Okay, here's how it works. We do have sites, around the state on this side of town. Further over at St. Vincent Hospital. I can refer you to one of our volunteers there. Heritage Place at 46 in Illinois. Counselors there too. So we can help you on the phone. And then a number of ways to help you. So that's all I've got to say.
So we appreciate you, and what email
I-
could I put up?
Yeah. I'll give you my email right now. And what I'll do is I will get in touch with our person that we're getting all the information.
We would like to possibly have a link for the organization on our website.
Yeah, let me get in touch with her for all of our other services.
And if you can, if you
Yeah.
here and make sure that.
Yeah, we'll get.
Wouldn't you like that to be able to know that you can go on your community website and get the right thing, because there's so many scams at the time. Into something, like you said, .com instead of sometimes .org or .gov. Boy, they copy websites, so we had Microsoft Office, especially school. They taught us how to look at a website and copy. Anyone who runs that can copy a website. They can do the media, they can do the graphics. So you have to know.
Yeah, there's some really little tricky things that real life will tell you. Right. One of the things I always recommend is, let's say you got a call about something wrong with your charge card. Please call this number to rectify it. Don't call that number. Call the number only that's on the back of your charge card. Because if you call that number, that's the scammer. So don't call anybody that tells your bank, your charge card. I love it when they, I don't know. Are you in the area that's Spectrum home for your TV? Some of the parts of the city, but I would get these calls from Spectrum day in, day out, and they say they've got a special deal. They go, huh? So I thought, this doesn't seem right, because I talked to them trying to, see my rating went up, see if I get it down. And these people kept telling, oh yeah, do this and do that. And so I kind of followed through on it to see where it was going. I knew it was going good. And then they said, well, we need your charge card number. And I said, well, I already have an account with Spectrum. Why do I need a new charge card number? And they said, well, it's a new program. It's through a different department, so we have to start all over again with a new charge card. Cool. Bye-bye. I mean, they were slick. I mean, it's kind of fun sometimes. You got to keep your wits about you, when you kind of play a game, because before you know it, they tricked you and you fall into a trap. But one of the other things, you don't want to talk, just don't take the call. You don't want to talk to them. The longer people say, oh, I'm going to talk to them, it's going to jerk them around me. The longer you talk to that person, their computer is telling them, hey, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, there's a person at this number that will talk to you in 5 minutes. Call them back.
And just remember, whether young or old or in between, there are companies that pay millions to get these people to track everything you say, and they just start adding a file. Before you know it, they have everything about you. If you get scammed, I can tell you, I don't care what political affiliation this guy is, but I get this every day, something from our AG, the Attorney General. And he's always taking down some of the very things that all of you are bringing to the table. And this one is about secure verification of licensure against individual eviction counsel for legally sold representation. He's doing the very things, taking it down that you're asking for. So that's on the website. Go and find it out. And if someone tried to scam you with Medicare, and he has counseling here, it has counseling abilities for us. But remember, you can turn it in. They said it has to happen to you before you can turn it into the attorney general. But once it's happened, you just turn that in, and they are knocking them down like bowling pins.
Yeah, they do keep track of all that. And one of the other things too is, hi, is this Bruce Muller speaking? Speaking. You don't ever say yes. When you say yes, this is yes, they can take that and then use that and kind of piece it into some other thing, You want to buy this new car? Yes. Okay.
Exactly. And watch what you DocuSign will lock you in. Don't start going and electronically doing something with the company that you didn't solicit from, that you haven't talked to, been to the office or whatever. A lot of us at our age, we go to office. We don't just do anything online. Sometimes things, yes. When I said get to know online, that's one thing, but nobody's online. Yeah, they will. So you have given us some great.
But you know, one of the things, sorry to keep going, but this is one of the things that's happening. I have a sister-in-law who only writes checks. She will not pay anything online. She said, because I'm afraid I'm going to scam and all this and that. You know what's happened now? You know, the number one, it's flipped. Writing old-fashioned checks is now, you know, more dangerous than doing business online.
They can
So,
wash checks and change. They've been doing that for years. They have solutions. They can put your check in. You better watch that checkbook. And they can wash you off and put them on. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you think about it, if they have all your information and they can go to the cheaper sites and just get checks like that. So you still have to watch your checkbook.
wouldn't it be wonderful all these people put their brains to work for something useful? Trying to cheat us.
Thank you.
Again, I wanted to, and remember, this book looks like. Find that book, read that book, and figure out what you have. I know, we're not touching ours, but you know what'll happen.
Yeah, that's going to give you a lot of information, but it's a little bit hard to find out everything the way it's set up. But there's a lot of main information about Medicare. You know, in the book.
One more thing, how long do we have, and then how long do we have to get in touch with you to help get some counseling on this? What's the deadline?
Well, I'm done now. No. December 7th. So, but you know, you don't want to put that off. You know, oh, I got time, because before you know it, the time has passed. And I know there's procrastinators here, because I'm a procrastinator myself. I have a great book about procrastination and how to prevent it, but I haven't gotten around to reading it. So I know, you know, but seriously, you put, you know, when people are new to Medicare, they think they've got a lot of time, that clock's ticking, and before you know it, they're into a situation where they haven't done what they should do. Because you can't, you know, if you're due to Medicare in June, and that's when you need to sign up, if you don't sign up, September, October, you try to sign up, you know, you're in trouble now. You'll have to wait till the first of the year for a second. But no, we're available. You know, get back to you.
And she had.
And I'm sorry, could you remind me, I might have missed it, the book, the Medicare book, they send that out automatically, or is that something you
No,
request?
that's automatic.
Okay,
And that's also our main office number. I've given you folks my number, but in the book too is the main, you know, our office here in Indianapolis.
okay, thank you.
Do you have any recommendations of who we can invite to our meetings? We can expound more on Medicaid and Social Security.
Yeah. Actually, there's a lot of different things we should call. I contacted people that's a personal change. So I'm working on that for you.
We really need that information because there are residents who have lost their waiver and they are suffering. And would you like to expound on some of the things that you know that happen? This is
Saturday, or actually today, I got an email yesterday that Medicaid is off. It's going to be off until Monday. So, like, I cook for Medicaid in Medicare. So I won't be paid until probably the following Wednesday. So some of my clients are not, they don't have any money. How are they going to pay the bill? Everything's going to be behind.
Can you tell us about the hotel thing and the amount that you
Yeah,
are
when I
looking?
went to pass out my flyers for my Thanksgiving meal giveaway, there are so many senior citizens that are actually living in the hotels. I had 500 people come to get food for me for free. For Thanksgiving, and they 211 called and asked, can you do it again tomorrow? I'm like, I can't. He out of my pocket and did this. So I've already had a meeting with 211 and we're trying to make arrangements to get grant money so that I can keep it going until Christmas.
What can we do to support, if you have any information on that or contact, to support efforts such as Ms. Burrell, she's Chef Burrell of Chef Burrell's Kitchen on Michigan Road 6950, and go and check her out. She can explain her business better than I can. But we run into situations like that, and we're an information organization. You know, we provide information. What can we do to support? What would be helpful to, is it the numbers? Is it people going to a particular site, starting a petition? What should we do? Because people are literally suffering, and she was explaining that some of the people said they're living there because they're losing their homes because their benefits are being taken away. And I would not be a good chair if I didn't say how many people have approached us saying that they're very upset that our country is allowing people who are not legal to get everything, and the people who are legal and paid for it are getting kicked off of so many things. So we're not rockets, we're not, we don't touch the bus and yell. But we do believe in doing what we have to do to lay out a paper trail and find out what we can do collectively to bring forth answers and solutions. What, if anything, you recommend or we'd like to think about?
Let me think about that. Organizations. I mean, there are some good things that happen. I mean, for instance, with the HV health family veterans, I always get them mixed up, you know, the fire downtown. The turnout for that from people, you know, donating has been amazing. But you're right, you know, I get those calls too where somebody's lost something. And,
So this is a part of their finance to be able to get that benefit, and when the benefit is snatched away, and for a particular family I can think of, it happens so suddenly with no explanation, and then after sending them through such a financial disruptive route, they said it was a mistake, but they still are suffering, they still have to fight. And so anything we can put on that site that help people be able to go through it and get to it, because we can't do it, but somebody's doing it.
Yeah.
So I want to give Mrs. Taylor Hill just a moment before we leave to see if she has anything to say about, we are just about at 4:00 here. We're like,
No, only thing I have to say is that we are having an issue with homeless people who still got home problem.
let's give Ms. Miller.
Thank you.
Let me contact with some other.
Okay.
We'll do that.
My husband got a question for you.
There's another
I
question.
have for you. But we have the homeless people that are living in their cars. And that is a big, big problem. And there is an initiative where they're asking people to allow them to park on their property so they can be safe. They had one place that is doing that, and they also have somebody there that can let them come in and use the restroom facility, but that's, they don't have. It was a backlog before the program even got started because it's so many. And the places that take homeless people, one of them is not taking families this year. And so you got families, husband, wife, kids living in their car. So if you know a place that don't mind them parking, because it's just not safe. You got single mothers in cars with their kids. You got even single men in cars with their kids. You got whole families
living in their cars, and we know they park in some of the Walmarts and different places. But when the Walmart closed, they don't have no restroom facility. And it's just hard. And there are some Haitians and different ones homeless as well. So some of them are not getting everything they're giving out. Some of them are homeless. And so it's just, the people that are working on that, they're trying to find they're frustrated. Because, let's face it, some people don't trust to allow the homeless to park on their property because they've had issues, and here's the ticket. It may not have been any of the homeless people that did it, but people will, like we talk about scams, they scam a line and blame the people that's not doing it, and they're the ones that's doing it. And so they're blocking people from getting help. And so I have other stuff, but that's the main thing, because here it is Thanksgiving, and these people are sleeping in their cars with nowhere to go. And then there are people who will call and turn them in. You've got people living in their trailers on somebody's property that have allowed them to be there. Well, the chapter 10 code says you can't be sleeping in that trailer for 15 days. Then you gotta get out. 15 days is it. And if some, people sleep longer if nobody calls and tell them. But we had an issue at the health department. Somebody called in on somebody and they got rolled up. And so they only had 15 days to be in there.
Yes, when I was calling me, I had 3 people sleeping on my lot. The agreement is that they were to keep it clean. And Eskenazi told us that you have to be gone by 8 o'clock when I pull up. Well, they are looking out for me because I'm looking out for them. So they stay a little longer until I pull up. So the health department came. But the guy's my buddy. He just told me, he said, hey, they told me to let people sleep on the lot.
Oh yeah, I'm saying we got some inspectors that we won't turn our back, but we want you to help people.
Yeah.
Cause I did. I am not going to put you don't want them under the bridge. You don't want them sleeping on the street downtown. So if they're somewhere and they're inside, leave them. I would say leave them alone. If they're doing what you said, keeping your lot clean, and they're not bothering anybody. But we turn on our own. We won't help them, but we don't want nobody else to help them.
Question, is there a path? Because it can be a Band-Aid or it can be a new life service. If there's not a path where someone is living in a car somewhere because someone allows them a path to them moving toward stable housing, then that's a cavern that they're going to drop into no matter where, because you can't have people living all over the place on cars here and there. That's not going to be healthy either. So it makes me always think, okay, what's the down to the cellular level solution? What's the real thing? So is anyone working to set up something that has the council of listening? Are they trying to find a way that they should have jobs, they should have housing? Because they can come up with all that money, don't think you're start in other places. We are having discussions throughout the community. Okay, we're not a sanctuary state, but guess what? Where's the money coming from when those states are running out? That's still federal money. So we want to know what's happening to stabilize and the people that are not legal, then we can't take care of them. And a lot of people, just people that are on hard times, and the eviction piece that we brought up before, that will be on the website. Those people don't know what else to do because they have nothing else that they can do. Yet, we need to have a way.
Well, the prosecutor's office does have a program. What they're doing for, for the homeless. People can call the prosecutor's office, but the thing of it is, a lot of jobs
Well, how about it? You ain't got no address. They don't have an address.
And look for this document. If we get this on the table, it's on our website. It shows all the community centers. Send people to that website to look, and this came from Andre Parsons' office. I understand where it came from. I'm not promoting anybody, but it has all of these different community places that people can go. We need to let the community centers know what needs to be done. Our Faith Park Lit Center, when our secretary went up there, they did print some things for us. Access what's in those community centers. They are receiving millions of dollars, and it needs to be going to who it needs to go to.
Okay.
I work with Faith Park. I work with the community center for some of the apartments that I do events for they are non-profit. And but yeah, they can. I don't know. The lady that's doing that brought this to our attention was at the Crown Hill Neighborhood Association, but the young lady left. She was here. Somebody Crown Hill. But
She's gonna read it out loud for you.
The church is getting involved, parking church.
well, they can, but somebody got to go to them and ask them. But will they do it? That's the point. There's a lot of churches that have plenty parking spaces that can hold a lot of cars parked there now. But the thing of it is, you want to have somebody in the church that is watching, because well, you don't know. You don't know. So like this one place that they have somebody there that they can let them in, use the restroom facilities, and then they go. Now, the church on 38th Street, the Methodist Church, is going to start a shower program. I don't think it started yet, but they're going to start a shower program so the homeless can come in there and take showers. And they already feed there, but they're going to start.
Yeah.
To say the church should do this, the this should do that, but I'm still back. What is the plan? What's the path to success? And I know you're bringing information. We're not shooting, the messenger, but they need to think something through, because if this didn't start happening, you're creating another whole community to be frustrated and all kinds of things can come up. I personally am going to tell you straight up, I am not going to do that. No one is going to park on my driveway and coming to use my restroom facilities in there with my family, or my grandchildren, granddaughters, sons, whoever. Not doing it. But there has to be a way with lots of empty buildings and things that are around. But what's the path? But they're suffering now. But what's the path? And are they finding out if people who are supposed to be here?
But
Even then, they got to be somewhere until they're not here, if they're not going to be here.
well, they're not all illegal, but a lot of these are yes, residents, Indianapolis residents.
And why are they not getting more?
So why the prosecutor's office? Why when you say recommend call the prosecutor's office, why that avenue?
I don't know. They're just doing it the same way they do those programs to get your life back to you for free. They do that as well.
Do you know how they're doing? Do you know what avenues they're taking once you do call by chance? No.
No.
Okay.
I just know that they're doing it. And you know what? I'm sure it is on their website.
Okay.
It is
Definitely check
on
that out.
Marion County Prosecutor's Office.
Okay.
It's on their website.
We have the prosecutor's office on our website yet. We just ask them. If they're not under the INPD area, we can get them on here.
Yeah.
But still, I think somebody better come up with a path of going down a slippery slope. There needs to be a path of success.
Mm-hmm.
Welfare is only good if there's a way to get off of it.
One more question,
And
Ms.
some
Reba.
people can't even get on.
So since you were the health department, what's the view about like the abandoned schools and all these things? We have schools. I don't know what's running in there, but what's the view about fixing those up?
The city county council can you.
City County
talk to you
Council.
About that, as well as the city. Well, maybe we need to go there and talk to them, send them a letter, because before you ask me to put something on my driveway, and you got all of these kids that can't go to the school because you bust them out of town all over, and you have all these empty schools, you need to be thinking about what you can use if they try to, or they want to sell them to help the neighborhoods, you know, if there is. And some of them, they never sit so long, they have to do so much work to them, nobody can afford it.
I think it's pertinent for us to know who our city council people are, they have a vast amount of information and resources that they can perhaps help those individuals as they apply to their community. We try to find out how we can help them. We need to go straight to the individuals we elected, and supposed to care about that particular area, and know the needs of neighbors and their real citizens, or whatever the issue is, and how they keep them out of it. I know we were at Robinson at one time and was involved with a major project, and she got a lot of homeless people off the streets.
Yeah.
And into the park.
Please take all that.
Oh,
Yeah.
pieces, Mr. Hill.
And you know what, remember on our website, our webmaster has set up where you can email every one of them. We have 5 city county councils to cover our area. If you don't use it, shoot yourself in the foot. Use that, and see what you can get them to pay attention to. If everybody does it, you know how many people get on these things and
Yeah, I still need, everybody just, all you have to do, go to YouTube, click subscribe, that's all you gotta do.
tell me how to do it. You show me here.
Okay.
But I'm all here and
Hey, we got a question back here. Did you say YouTube?
YouTube, yeah.
I'm gonna show you how to do it.
Might be a link on the website now. Oh.
Yeah, right. Okay, watch this guy. He's gonna see if there's a link, because once we have subscribers, not yet. Okay, so I'll go to YouTube.
Yeah, go to YouTube, go to youtube.com.
Okay.
And then,
I'm putting it on Facebook right now for you all.
just put the link on Facebook and then go to search for Crooked Creek Alert. No spaces.com right there, crookedcreekalert.com. Or go back. Once it kind of fills out for you, just click on Crooked Creek Alert and you'll know it's us because it has. All right.
You should see the green. It was like a green little sign.
So that's always good.
Okay.
But you can scroll down. and-
That's, you know what? I think I may have tagged, I think I tagged this video on there so that we can see it. So that might be what you're looking at.
Did you change the logo?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so, see, it will be us eventually, but, scroll down.
Because I'm on there now. Why is it not doing it? Oh, you know what did you do at Crooked Creek Alert dot? Because it says DOT com here. Her show is gonna make y'all work so that you cannot break into anything. So it is very covert.
Right there. So you'll go
Yeah.
by seeing the CCA, so yeah, click on that, so at Crooked
freealert.com, it is, but. So, we're gonna put that link on the website.
And tell them what that's gonna do.
That will have more subscribers, then we'll be able to stream live on YouTube or YouTube or.
It's gonna make it easier for you to get in and go back and see things and do we want to give them a little blurb about what you're planning on doing?
Yes. So we're super excited. I know we've been talking about getting together and doing broadcasts. I know a lot of people that you see here, they give a lot of information in a short amount of time, and it's not enough time. So we want to be able to take a second to interview some of these people and get your questions answered. That's why it's important for you guys to go to the website. We have a forum on there. So I know we just put some Medicare and Medicaid questions up on the forum on the website. So those kind of questions, if you have things you all want to talk about, put them on the forum. That way, when we're trying to get with people that you all want to hear from, we can ask these questions and you all can get the answers that you need. So it's really interactive what we're doing with the website. So you all please make sure y'all subscribe. We're so excited. We're excited for our community because we're growing. And please invite people to join on the website, because you all are here. We're so grateful. We want to see some more people. We want everybody in Indianapolis to join what we're doing. And it's not just Cricket Creek, because you never know where you're going to be. So Indianapolis is big enough, Fishers, Noblesville. So we want to make sure everybody's on the same page as they move around Indiana. And we're
A lot of people don't use some of these.
yeah.
And, you gotta get the information out to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
That's in here. I mean, you got 1,000 homes in my area.
Yeah.
And they don't read it someplace.
Something that was suggested is that we chip in and buy one of the big yard signs. Those are catchy, like for birthdays, anniversaries, and whatever, and start putting those out. And we're using QR codes on our flyers. Younger people are all about the QR codes. I know this is all about it. And Sharon Miller loves children.
Awesome.
So, we do need to find out ways to get to people, but maybe you just want to volunteer to sit in the grocery store sometime and pass out information. What do you want to do to build your community? What do you want to do? Some of the people who come to the meetings have worked for 40, 50 years, and they need a break. So, some young people, we are looking for young ideas, we're bringing them in, and these two are just blowing it out of the water. They really are.
As are you.
They're doing a great job, and they volunteer their time in the schools too. So, please, someone take it.
And one more thing. What's that? Do you have Apple? I do not. No. Okay. How come?
Well, I just put the latest update on my phone.
Okay. Yeah. Well, here's our tech guy. You might want to.
You don't want to go. Yeah. So don't put up update 18.
Yeah. A lot of times, I'll just say that a lot of times updates, they say, oh, make it more secure. A lot easier to computers, updates will break it. So I don't want to say
Destroyed all my photos.
Oh wow.
1,200 and something.
Oh wow.
Of course, it's backed up.
So if you're going to do updates, back up all your information.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I got it backed up. For you.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with my iPhone 8 Plus, and when it breaks, they have to give me another iPhone 8 Plus.
Amen to the androids.
Not cracked, but my screen is cracked.
Mm-hmm.
I've had
Oh wow.
Well, it sounds like we are really had great things. If anyone else has anything, it's all been gracious, it's all been 421. Let's see.
one last thing. You pull up the
Website again, quick. This will be bread at the top.
Okay, Herschel done something already. He's so quick. We have a meeting like every other
Love
week
it.
on Friday, and then before you know it, when I say something, he's done it already.
So if you look at the top on the right hand side, I've updated it so there's now a YouTube icon. If you click on the icon on the far right, there, it'll take you to the YouTube channel.
Well, look at there.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah.
We need something else.
Friday.
Yep.
Now, the ability is not.
There you go. Whoa, ma'am.
Thank you so much for coming. Okay. You know what? Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
See you later. Next one is so. Yeah, Dor- everyone gets a part of a piece of it. Or we all look at like. I've never seen so many people go. You want to advertise on? We can.